purposefully going to try to get a speeding ticket in one of the slowest cars ever made, the original Fiat 500, and we're also going to compare the original to the brand new electric one to see if that new one is worthy of the 500 name. All right, Case, what are we working with today?
This is our classic 1971 Fiat 500L, which stands for Lusso, and we'll talk about what makes it a Lusso a little later. But Tommy, guess what's under the hood here?
Ooh, I'm gonna say a 5-liter V8.
Well, 5 is right in that it's 500 cc's, so 499, so almost. It's a 2-cylinder, and it makes 17 horsepower.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it makes 17 entire horsepower.
You can power an entire car with 17 horsepower?
Think about that. That is the equivalent of a full stable, a full barn of horses packed into this tiny car. That's pretty good.
Okay, so there are some lawnmowers out there with more horsepower than this entire car.
There might be, but this car also weighs 1,100 pounds, so I think that's gonna help us out.
Now let's talk a little bit about what this car was made for. It was designed for small Italian cities, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was made to be compact because a lot of Italian cities weren't really intended to have cars driving through them because they're pretty ancient. And that's why the dimensions of this car in part are so tiny.
Yeah, and the engine's in the back, the trunk is in the front, and it has a soft top, not because convertibles were fun, but because fabric was cheaper to manufacture than filling the entire roof with steel.
But like anything Italian, it just ended up being fun anyway.
Absolutely. So we're going to take this out on the road, try to find some cops, and see if we can get an American-sized speed limit on American-sized roads.
How's your horn doing, Tommy?
Oh, it's working at it.
Sounds like a garbage disposal.
Oh, it died. All right, Case, let me walk you through the interior of the Fiat 500. So we have a steering wheel, part of the Lusso or luxury package.
It's included.
2-spoke steering wheel. And then we have a speedometer with a fuel gauge.
130 kph seems a little optimistic. What do you think?
Well, that's about 195 miles an hour.
Is it?
It is, yeah. I think we'll get pretty close to that number in this vehicle. And then we have 3 switches, none of which are labeled at all.
Yeah, do they do anything important or anything at all?
Let's figure out what they do. So there goes your key. Headlights, I think. I'm pretty sure. Hazards, maybe? Or maybe those are your headlights, I think. Yeah, because we can turn our brights on and off. And this is, wiper. Oh, it got stuck.
Oh, on the camera.
On the GoPro.
That's not even the Fiat's fault.
Gosh.
Oh, my seatbelt comes from all the way down there.
Yep, aftermarket shoulder belts, Case, because these are really going to save you in an accident in this car.
I can't even get my hand through the seat. What is going on with this?
What's the problem?
Well, there's nothing on it.
The buckle has sunk to the bottom. I bet here's the issue.
I have to get out of the car.
If you lunge, I think the problem is your seat has eaten your seatbelt.
Oh. Sure has. Okay.
This is like when you go on one of those carnival rides at like the state fair, and there's like a guy with no teeth operating the ride.
That's all of them.
That's been vaguely bolted together. You want more safety? Well, how much more safety do you want? You're in.
It's like a double lap belt.
Here we go. If you take this part
and
just cinch it. Oh yeah.
Cool.
It's like a Volvo.
Thanks a million.
All right, so we're in the car. We're ready to play with some of the features. We don't have a radio, but we do have bits of the valves train that sheared off.
Oh.
So some nice features, yeah. This is your heater. You've got little vents underneath the dash here, and you can open or close them. And that turns your heater on and off.
What was that?
I have no idea.
Start?
I don't even want to touch it. I don't know what it does. And then you have one more switch back here. And this switch turns on the main heat. So that opens up some pipes from the engine.
So you reach into the passenger in the rear seats to turn on the heat?
You have to fondle your rear seat passenger to turn on the rear heat. That's right. And then we've got a roof that folds open if it was a nice day. And then here's how we start the car. So we've got 2 unlabeled levers down here. I'm going to turn off these switches. I don't remember what those do, so we'll just turn them off. This is your choke, so we'll give it maybe a little bit of choke. And then this is your starter. And what this does, this is your starter, so you pull up on this, and it activates a cable that makes a physical connection between the positive terminal and the starter. So you're literally open and closing it.
So it's almost like the way that David starts his tractor with a long screwdriver.
Exactly.
Here's my starter key.
Oh, yes.
And your parking brake works.
Parking brake does work. Look at that. Look at the action on that bad boy.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, and 2-cylinder engine.
4-speed, unsynchronized.
Unsynchronized. And this is the crazy part, right? Most cars, I would say most cars were at least partially synchronized by the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of cars in the 40s, even some in the 30s. Fiat, 1971, fully unsynchronized.
They don't need it.
So we gotta do some rev matching here. It's a normal 4-speed though. Clutch pops up there, no tachometer, and the way you know you're at your rev limit is on the speedometer are these little clicks. You see those little red lines?
Handy indication.
Yep, that's your top of first, top of second, and top of third. And then of course the speedometer's in kilometers an hour. But it's actually a really easy car to drive, as long as you shift it really slowly. Because there are no synchros, it doesn't like being shifted quickly.
So it's not a Honda.
It's not a Honda, no.
In any way.
No part of this is a Honda, let's be honest.
We do have an ashtray, though.
We have an ashtray.
Probably important in Italy in the 70s.
No rear ashtray though, so how are your kids gonna smoke?
What kind of Lusso experience is this?
And we should explain, the Lusso trim gave you stuff like the steering wheel, stripes on the doors.
Are you saying that a non-Lusso didn't get a steering wheel?
Well, you got a more basic steering wheel. You get a cubby.
By the way, that's not the key for this Fiat.
That's the key for the other Fiat.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna unleash all the power. Are you ready?
Let's see it.
That's all she's got. In a second. Come on.
We might have a hard time getting a speeding ticket.
You might have a hard time getting a speeding ticket. And here's the thing, right? We've got a number of roads out here. We might have to pull out ways to try to find where the cops are.
Yeah.
Number of roads that are notorious for speeding, for like speed traps.
Right.
Where cops hang out. And we're gonna really give it our college try to get a speeding ticket. I'm talking full throttle, max RPM.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna work it.
Are we in sport mode?
Is the window fully closed? Sport mode engaged.
Sport mode. What about the air conditioning? Is that off?
Air conditioning is off because it has none of that.
Perfect.
You're right. And you really have your own personal racetrack because the car is so narrow.
Oh, well, there's a cop.
Oh, jeez. It's gonna cost us so
He's just gonna think your steering is that bad.
He didn't pull us over. Dang it, that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was.
Should we go chase him down?
That's a horrible noise, Tommy.
Yeah, that clicking noise is because something is falling off in the transmission.
Oh, it's just the transmission.
It's just the transmission, nothing to worry about. So, Case, at the top of the hill is a speed van. So we're gonna try to break the speed limit here. It's 30. Full throttle.
My question is, are we gonna be able to pass this guy on a bicycle?
I don't know. Can we, is he here? Oh, dang, the speed van's not here.
Ah, yeah, we might have to
We
check
may have to get Waze to, oh, sorry, lady, I don't have the brakes to stop for you. I apologize.
Now, how is the handling of this car?
You know, we joke about this, but the car actually handles incredibly well for what it is. I mean, a lot of old cars, you have really loose steering. This, you turn just a little bit. It's actually incredibly responsive steering. And we forget, too, that there were Abarth versions of this.
Yeah.
That they took racing.
Absolutely, which is pretty cool. I'm guessing those are quite a bit more expensive.
Is that another cop?
Oh, it might be unmarked. Can we do a big burnout in front of him to get a ticket?
We can certainly try. All right, Case, I'm going to get out my phone because we need an accurate speedometer.
Yeah, we do.
So the speed limit here, I think, is 55. And this is a notorious speed trap. So merging out of this highway here, I'm going to stop and we're going to try to do a 0 to 60 test. Unleash all 17 horsepower. It would suck to get hit by an SUV.
We definitely don't want to pull out in front of any cars.
This car genuinely sounds like a Briggs & Stratton.
I've never heard a passenger car that sounded more like a lawn trimming implement
You want to get
than this.
You want to get a timer out?
Timer? What? With what hand?
Oh, okay, all right, here. I'll help you.
What are we timing?
The 0 to 60.
0 to 60.
Here, I'll take this.
Sure.
It's a good noise.
It's bad, Tom.
0 to 60 in the Fiat 500 in 3, 2, 1, go. Ah! Oh my God, we got some wheel spin. In a second. How fast is that?
15.
15 mile an hour.
Hold on, I'm trying to recover from your loss.
Going past the recommended shift point in a third. 26. Still flat out. Come on, Fiat. You won rally championships. Do something. All right, top of third. 40.
Almost 40.
In the fourth. Oh, we're about to be passed by the slowest car in existence.
The wind noise is unbelievable.
A 4-liter RAV4 4Runner just took us.
42, Tommy. It's 44.
I'm still flat out.
How fast did we go in the Model T?
About
46, 47.
43. Oh, we're going fast.
48.
48.
49. Are we merging on a highway?
We're merging onto the highway case.
How is it that our new job description became taking the slowest cars on the planet on the highway?
It's interesting. You get a little bit of like wind flow. You feel that? There's like
Yeah, it's
air
a nice
coming in.
spring breeze.
All right, that's all she's got. We're doing 51.
51.
I'm still pinned.
52.
Come on.
I think we're going to need a hill for a backdraft.
53.
60. 54. Ah! 55. Oh, back down.
54. You do have to admit, for what is this, 500 cc's?
It's incredible.
It's amazing it'll do 55 at a mile above sea level.
Yeah, that's true. We'd probably be doing 155 at sea level.
All right, we're gonna hit 60. I just know
57.
it. 58.
59.
Come on! Oh God, there's a hill. Come on, 60.
Oh, we're
so close.
so close.
Come on! Come on,
We
Fiat.
just elapsed 2 minutes.
60.
62 minutes and 4 seconds. It might have been 2 minutes and 3 seconds, but at that point, it's not good anyway that you spin it.
Is that the slowest 0 to 60 you've ever been in?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm actually a little impressed we hit 60.
I am impressed that we hit 60. That was something. You're probably going to have to replace another set of these valve train components after that.
So we're on this road here. I think the speed limit's 55. Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
My door wasn't closed.
Oh God. I think the speed limit on this road is 55.
Speed limit on this road is faster than we're doing, that's for sure.
We were just passed by a Dodge Colt. It's embarrassing.
Oh, that's a high-performance car.
It's a high-performance machine. So somewhere up here is usually a policeman stationed.
Yeah, where's he at?
Where is he at?
You should be out today. We're out here trying to break the law.
We are actively trying to break the law in our Fiat. I think we're going under the speed limit because everybody is passing us.
Either that, or these are a bunch of criminals.
Never.
Criminals.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a tiny car that is very slow, but it's surprisingly comfortable.
Yeah, actually, we don't have a headrest, but the seat isn't half bad.
The seat's pretty good, and like the leg room, for how short the car is, it's really pretty good.
Tommy, you know in Colorado, most people use the right lane to go fast.
Well, is that how it works here?
Yeah, we're better off in the left lane.
All right, we're gonna race a Subaru Legacy 3.6R
And an F-150.
with an old guy behind the wheel.
He's not
even looking at us.
He probably thinks someone's running a weed whack.
Here we go. Ah! It does good burnouts.
It does something.
In a second.
So far we're losing.
We're losing to the van.
Losing to the van.
Oh God.
Oh, we got people going around
It's
us.
not
They
going
don't
well.
like it.
Can we at least beat the clapped out old Dodge Colt?
Nope.
Come on. Oh, no.
Everyone's going around us, man.
How about the ancient Hyundai Elantra?
No, the Elantra's got us.
Oh man.
The rusty Elantra.
Everyone is passing us here. But there's another opportunity for a cop spotting, because just up here is where they hang out.
Good, they better. A lot of motorcycles here in the States have bigger motors than this.
Yeah.
I don't own
that's true.
I don't own a single street bike with a motor this small.
I mean, what's the total CC on this?
$499.
Yeah, 500. 500.
Yeah.
That's a small engine.
It is.
The later ones, though, they had called the 500R, and those ones had a little bit more power.
Yeah, I saw, I think, a 20 20-something horsepower and apparently 65 miles per hour.
65?
I know.
In a 500R.
Could you imagine?
So technically, we probably hit this vehicle's claimed top speed. It's 50 years later.
Yeah, I think so. 60.
Yeah, 60 is
good.
probably about what this thing would have done brand new. And look, we are sitting in traffic here with all these cars. Look at this! Look at this guy's Land Rover, massive V8.
We're passing everybody now.
Okay, well, this is where the cop hangs out, and clearly this is not happening. So
Yeah.
my last idea is we blast past the police station.
Yeah, it really takes a lot to close the door on this.
So the fuel tank in a Fiat 500 lives in the cargo area. So the pro is that, well, the pro is that you would explode in an accident. The con is that your stuff is gonna smell like gas all the
Well,
time.
you're not going to explode in the accident because look at the substantial bumper that we got.
You got a sizable bumper right there. These are actually the wrong bumpers. The L are supposed to have like little hoops on them.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at a quarter tank right now. Let's see how much it takes to fill up a Fiat.
Does this car have a gas gauge?
It does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I see the little wiring for it.
Sophisticated. So, Case, we're putting 85 octane in here, and people are going to lose their minds.
Yeah, we need some ethanol free.
But listen, 85 in Colorado acts like 87. And this old soot bomb of an engine was designed to run on really poor fuels in post-war Italy, so I think we'll be okay.
Are you saying that 85 is better than what they had in Italy in 1971?
Listen, I wouldn't run diesel in it if that's what you're asking.
How many gallons does it take, Tommy?
I have no idea. I think it's 5, 7.
7 whole gallons? I could run this car for weeks.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Well, people, you know what? I think when this car is parked, people probably like it more than when it's moving down the road.
Why do you say that?
Well, I think we were slowing a couple people down. Did you notice that?
A few.
A few.
A couple people.
Oh, is that all? 2.6.
All right. Either the fuel gauge is wrong or I was incredibly optimistic by the fuel tank size. So if you know the fuel tank capacity on a 1971 Fiat 500 Lusso, drop us a comment. But it is very small. Seatbelt.
I'm not getting used to this seatbelt.
It's really inconvenient. Gives you a colonoscopy every time you put the seatbelt on. It's an interesting feature. You really do have to like the person you're sitting next to. Imagine being in a fight with like your spouse in this car. Well, an Italian fight, lots of hand waving.
A very passionate argument.
Oh my God, you sit so close you'd end up with a bloody nose. That's crazy. Come on, Briggs and Stratton. Wow,
man.
what a machine. Now, this car really got Italy moving after the war. They started production in 1957, and they sold them through 1975. They sold over 3.8 million Fiat 500s.
Yeah, there were 4 million people going as slow in Italy and abroad as we are today.
Yeah, and they sold, I think they sold like 300 in the US.
Yeah,
So
I did see that.
it wasn't a big hit.
No, and I can understand why
Yeah.
from our experience today. But this one was imported, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It came out of Milan, I think, based off the
so it's
license
legit.
plate. Yeah, it's an actual Italian Fiat 500, restored in Italy, brought here. Try to be smooth with the clutch. It's very on and off.
Yeah, could you imagine if this was a car you learned to drive on? You'd never want to drive again. It is, well, I say that, it's better than walking.
It is faster than walking.
It's faster than walking. Yeah,
Barely.
maybe it's not better.
It is actually, what I love about this car though, is it's like, if you ever have a chance to just see one in person, they are ridiculously tiny.
Oh, yeah.
But the packaging is done in such a way where like they're not ridiculously uncomfortable. Like it's a pretty good place to spend time. I'd actually say
Yeah.
this is a more comfortable car than a classic Mini.
Although the wheel well is about, well, half of my footwell.
Yeah, there is some intrusion in the wheel well.
Some, yeah.
100%.
Really, no transmission tunnel because the motor's in the back.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And air-cooled engine, so there's no coolant to worry about, right?
Perfect.
No radiator to leak. And yeah, I'm not saying it's a Mercedes-Benz in terms of build quality from the 70s, but it was super easy to fix back in the day. Like country stores in rural Italy would stock spares for 500s because it was just the car you bought. All right,
Yeah.
full throttle. We're coming up to the police station.
Yeah, we're actually right by our old office.
Yeah, we are.
should be able to speed on this road.
Here we go. We're doing 31 and a 30. There are the cops, Case. Come on.
Pull us over.
We're doing something illegal. Nothing.
They didn't even care.
Try again the other way.
It's our old office.
I know. You miss our old office?
No.
Look at the turning radius, though.
We all had to share an office.
It's true.
So Roman could see exactly what we were doing at all times. It was
Not that we wanted to do that. It's just how it worked out. All right. I'm going to try to do a burnout in front of the police. Are you ready?
Pull us over.
Woo! Anyone? Anyone?
We might get pulled over. The guy in that Grand Cherokee might go report us.
That guy's like, these guys, they were doing literally 17 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Literally 17.
They need to be stopped.
Look, Case, overall, as small and ridiculous as this car is, I absolutely love it. I think it's an amazing piece of engineering. It got Italy moving, and today it's still a fun, incredibly entertaining car to drive.
It is a piece of engineering.
You really don't like these little things, do you?
I think it is a fun little car. I think, well, I don't know. Is it genuinely an amazing piece of engineering?
I think it is because of the way that the form and the function interact. I mean, it's incredibly cute, but the design elements in this car were for a purpose, like the convertible top, like the funny little rear end to house the engine. So I think it's a classic case of, it's like the anti-Cybertruck, where like the form is there and then the function kind of sort of works with the form, kind of.
Right.
This is the perfect complement of it. Is it a usable car on American roads if you don't live deep in a city? Not really.
No. I wouldn't recommend it. Also, I have to imagine that this is about the easiest car on the planet to steal. So if you do live in a city, I also wouldn't recommend it.
You say that, but there are two things holding it back that are preventing someone from stealing it.
It's too slow
to
get away.
No, it's got a non-synchro manual transmission, which to most Americans is just game over. And the starter is not on the key or a button. It's this weird cable that looks like it should be a heater from the Volkswagen.
So if you watch our video,
You know how to steal one.
you know how to steal one.
Yeah.
Tommy, we found an officer.
We sure did. We're doing car to car with a Tesla Cybertruck, which is just
which is pretty goofy.
the most ridiculous spectacle, but we finally found a police officer. So we're gonna try to get a ticket for speeding.
Man, it was really loud in this car, huh?
It's really loud and we don't have mics right now, so we're gonna try to scream.
Yeah, we had basically given up on trying to find a cop.
And we just found one out of the blue doing our car to car footage.
Exactly.
All right, so we unfortunately have like a red light here, and then we're just gonna have to mat it if we're gonna get, I think the speed limit here is like 35. So we're gonna have to just give her hell if we're gonna get that speeding ticket.
Hopefully we've got the power to get up to 35 by the time we pass a cop, or beyond is what we need. Oh,
God.
oh!
Oh God. Full throttle. That's 9.
Come on.
Here we go. Here we go. Getting a little caught up by the railroad crossing. It's almost time. Top of second, in the third.
We need them to speed up a bit.
Dad, go a little quicker. Oh, we might actually get the ticket. Here comes the cop. Got the railroad crossing.
He's not even looking.
Full throttle. Nothing. Pay
He's
attention.
not even looking.
We're speeding. Look at us.
What? We just can't get a ticket in this car to save our lives.
Come on. That was all she had for a sec there in third, and just nothing. Bummer.
That's a heartbreak situation.
I was. We found a cop. He wasn't even. This spectacle alone should have been enough to get a ticket.
Cybertruck, well, I guess there's probably plenty of those around Boulder by this point, but a Cinquecento?
I think everybody driving a Cybertruck should be an offense.
Yeah.
It hurts the general public's eyes. Case, here in the USA, Fiat just started selling their brand new 500, and tell me a little bit about it.
Well, funny enough, They're only right now selling this car in the color that you see it here, which matches our old one, which is pretty fortunate. But what's crazy about seeing the two compared is the size difference. Now, this new 500e is still a really small car, but its wheelbase is 19 inches longer, it's 22 inches wider, it weighs more than double as much. That's an 1,100 pound car, this is a 3,000 pound car. And the craziest thing to me is that from mirror to mirror, this is about 74 inches, and the wheelbase on the old car is 72 inches. So mirror to mirror, this is wider than the wheelbase is long on the old car.
Absolutely insane. And what's crazy is this car by itself in American traffic is a small car.
Yeah.
But when you put it next to the original, the size difference is insane.
It dwarfs it. There's no comparison.
Absolutely insane. So the old one, 2-cylinder air-cooled gasoline engine, what powers the new one?
The new one has a 118 horsepower electric powertrain. It's front wheel drive, and that's going to make a huge difference. Something else that I think is funny to compare here too is the wheel size. On the old 500, we have a 12-inch wheel with a decent bit of sidewall. More sidewall than we have on the 17-inch wheel that's on this new 500e. It's a massive difference. Kind of a cool looking wheel though.
It's like almost 50% larger.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What I do like, Case, is they kind of kept a lot of the original design aesthetic. So like
A little bit.
The roundish headlights with the roundish turn signal is pretty similar to the original. This little like frowny nose that the old one has kind of maintained in the new one. So there's some very similar design elements.
One question I have though is what is the purpose of this? I might just be ill-informed, but I don't think this even lights up.
What is that? So that's the Italian flag.
Well, yeah. I guess that's all it is.
Wow, it's just like a little fin, huh?
I hope it lights up.
Unreal.
Make it cooler.
And then around the side, look, they're really trying to dig into their Italian heritage here. Like it says 500 everywhere. It's got Italian flags everywhere. I mean, this thing, they're really going after the heritage piece.
Yeah, and it is a cute car. It's also crazy that they do have back seats in this car.
No way.
Yeah.
So just like the original two-door, but let's see what that back seat looks like.
Here.
Hop on back there, Case.
Oh, it's good. Actually, it says 500 on, well, there's one cup holder back here that we would have to fight over. But they've done it. They've done it. They gave us a back seat. Not a lot of amenities, and you'll be surprised to hear not a ton of space.
Yeah, not surprising. But look at like all the little tidbits. Like here it says made in Torino in this little grab handle with the old Fiat that we have right there. And then like on the wireless charger, you have like an Italian city landscape. You see that?
Yeah, otherwise it's a very simple, but it's a good looking interior. I like the red, the body color that's brought in, 500 logo on the wheel, and a massive steering wheel for such a small car.
Huge, yeah. And look, we actually have real technology in this. Like we have a digital gauge cluster. We've got a big screen there. It even has electronic door handles now, which I'm not a huge fan of, but you push the button to get out of them. The seats are cool. They say Fiat in them in the old style script. That's really cool. Look, there's a lot of really interesting little design elements in here. Can probably get you out of the trunk, the back seat.
I wouldn't hate that. Yeah, it's just kind of an expensive car for what it is, this new one.
I mean, we're looking at over $30,000 for this one.
Yeah, about 34 including destination. And what did we get the old one for?
Ooh, well, I think we paid like $17,000 for the old one, which is a lot of money.
That's a deal.
But Case, here's what I'm curious about. Can you fit into the back seat of the old one?
Yeah, I actually forgot that this old one had back seats.
Yeah, unfortunately for
man.
you.
I kind of wish it didn't. Well, it's not any better. If someone sat in this, my knees would be, well, it would be like, yeah, like a massage, an aggressive
massage. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, the back seat, it's crazy to think that back in the day, like Italian families would take these out into the countryside with 2 kids and a dog back there.
Yeah, but Tommy, this is the Lusso model. So we've got these fancy door cars, door pockets. We've got a tray.
Yeah,
that's part of the Lusso.
Part of the Lusso, which stands for luxury, was you got a tray. I mean, these are luxury features you just can't expect anymore.
No, and certainly not anything you'll get on a modern car. So
I mean,
we're well off.
You got lines on the seats case in the Lusso model.
Lines on the seats and the door cards, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go take the new one for a quick spin. We're in the new one.
And plays a little song when you hit 20 miles an hour.
What is that? So
Yeah, this lady is like, what the hell?
is that like a pedestrian thing?
Apparently.
Okay, because it's electric, right? So they have to make noise so that babies and blind kittens don't walk out in front of it.
But it only does it the first time you hit 20 miles an hour, so I guess it's assuming that you're only ever going to be near pedestrians when you first approach 20 miles an hour. But I'll tell you what this does a lot better.
What?
Accelerate.
Wow.
Wow.
It's pretty good. What's the
Look at that,
horsepower
we're
on
breaking
this
the
guy?
speed limit already. 118, so 101 more than our Cinquecento.
And what do you think of the driving experience, Case?
You know, the steering is strangely light. It's I kind of expected it to be just more normal steering effort, but it's almost like a John Deere tractor light steering.
Yeah.
But other than that, it drives kind of like you would expect any other modern car to. It definitely doesn't have the same personality that the old one has.
But it'll also do 40 miles an hour
Yeah.
when it's supposed to do 40 miles an hour. I mean, look, there's a lot to complain about compared to the old one. Like, you could talk about how, it's got a lot more plastic in it and it's front wheel drive and the old one was rear wheel drive. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, it's still a small car. Excuse my reach, but you could realistically still reach all the sides of the car sitting in both seats. So it still is the smallest car on the road from a modern standpoint. And that gives it certainly a unique character and a unique personality. And it's not as cute or as quirky as the old one, but it's also a real car, right?
Yeah, it's something that it's still small enough to be impractical, but it's bigger, so it's more practical than the old one if that wasn't obvious.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, and it's got like airbags, right, and a radio and air conditioning and windows that go down at the push of a button. So there's a lot good about it. The bad about it is it's too expensive. This one's like 34 grand.
Yeah, 34 grand including destination, and it's just not the best deal that's out there as far as EVs go.
But look, I'm glad they still build it, even if it's very different than the old one. It's cool it's still around, and it is pretty nippy. It goes pretty good.
Yeah, we're about to get a little shot down the highway here.
If it ever turns green.
Woo, look at this. This Cherokee can't keep up with us.
Doesn't even know what hit him.
Oh, well, actually, maybe he can.
He is trying to keep up with us. Nope.
No
He's gone.
chance. So you can actually drive with traffic in this car. Well, now we're getting past, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's good enough.
Good enough, yeah. All right, Case, so try as we might, we weren't able to get a speeding ticket in the old car. Look, America is the wrong place for a Fiat 500, the original one. It's too small and it's too slow, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. I think the only way that we're going to get a ticket related to speed in this car is if we go under the minimum required speed.
I think you're right on the money. Now, the new one has grown a lot, it's gotten a lot faster, and it's gone fully electric. The question is, I hate to say it, I kind of think this car is still too small for America. The old one sold okay, but Americans, we just like big things because we have a lot of space.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of open range out here in the States where you kind of want a bit more range than the 149 that the Fiat 500e gets you.
Totally. In a city, I think this is a fun little car if you have a place to charge it. I love the styling. I love that they kept to their original design roots. It's just not super practical, especially for the price point. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments section below. This has been Tommy.
In case.
We'll see you in another episode.